Pasta YouTube, happy Tuesday to all my hacks out there. Hopefully you're all having a good day today. Now today's going to be the third day of daily uploads. If you missed day 2, a link to that should be in the top left hand corner of the video. As well guys, I have something important that I want to talk about down in the description, so please make sure to go read that. Now as you can see from the team preview, this is an NU battle and I'm using a modified version of the team I used previously, which is my M-board team. And I actually put extra belt on my M-board as opposed to the choice band, and it's really been helping me out a lot lately. And from the looks of my opponent's team, Superior, Swallow, and Samurai are his obvious 3 offensive hitters. Then he's got Garbodor and Probo Pass, which are his entry hazard setupers. Then he's got the Drifblim, which is his obvious spin blocker. So I know that my Rotom and my War Turtle are going to be my 2 key players in this battle. And as well, if I can get up my Stealth Rocks, I would definitely be able to whittle down the Swallow and the Drifblim. But I guess we'll have to see how the battle turns out, guys. And let's get right into it. I'm going to be leading off on Rotom, seeing as both of my stab moves hit a very good majority of his team, as he's going to be leading off with the one Pokemon I really can't do anything to, which is the Probo Pass. So I am going to be forced to go straight for the Volt Switch. Now because Rotoms don't tend to carry Volt Switch and Thunderbolt, I know he might be thinking I'm not carrying the Thunderbolt and I can use that to my advantage later on in the battle. So I'm going to Volt Switch on out to my Vileplume. Now I also could have switched into my Emboar and my Regirock, but because it would still early on in the battle, my Vileplume was the safest play, or the safest Pokemon I could have gotten out into. So it gets up a Stealth Rocks, which I really don't care about, seeing as I do have War Turtle, which is carrying the Rapid Spin. And instead of going straight for the Leech Seed, I actually went for the Giga Drain, seeing as I thought he would want to stay in and go for the Volt Switch just to get some damage on my Vileplume. But then again, I do resist the Volt Switch and it's not super effective, so that possibly wouldn't even done more than leftovers would have recovered. So that was a bit of a dumb thing for me to do, but it was still early on in the battle and there was no reason for me to start predicting. So I'm going to go for the Leech Seed, as he just ends up going for other spikes in the following turn. Because I know he's going to go for another layer, I am going to decide to switch into my War Turtle because I do not want him getting up all his entry hazards anytime soon or anytime in this battle for that fact. So he's going to go for the second layer of spikes, which really isn't a big deal. And after the Leech Seed recovery, I will be up to around 90% HP. Now I know because the Rapid Spin is very, very obvious, and he's not going to want to switch into his Drifblim on the off chance that maybe I do predict that I can go for an Ice Beam or a Scald. I am actually going to go for the Rapid Spin, as he does over predict, stays in, and goes for the Toxic. Now, if that didn't make sense, just trust me, I knew that he wasn't going to switch into Drifblim, predicting me to go for Rapid Spin. But yeah, so managed to get the Rapid Spin off as the following turn. Instead of going for the Scald, I'm actually going to go for the Yawn, because from prior experience, a Scald really doesn't do much to the Garbodor. So going for the Yawn and forcing him to switch out is the better play that I can do, unless I get the burn with the Scald, which you guys should know at this point, 30% is not my best friend. So the following turn, I know he's going to switch out, so I'm actually going to go for another Yawn. And I actually thought he might switch into his Superior, but I guess this time he predicted me to go for the Rapid Spin and brought in his Drifblim, which really isn't a big deal because I know he's going to be forced to switch out, and he's going to pull a switch into a Samurai, as I'm going to pull a double switch into my Regirock. Now, I know you're wondering, this is looking very bad for you, Leo. No, it's not, because unless the Samurai is specially based, which I'm pretty positive it's not because he does have a Superior, then I know I can stay and take Waterfalls, go for a Thunder Wave, or go for a Stone Edge just to get damage off on it. And I'm actually going to go for the Stone Edge, when on hindsight, I should have gone for the Thunder Wave, but oh well, looking back at it, there's really nothing I can do anything at this point. So I managed to get off a decent chunk of damage on the Probo Pass as the following turn. He actually ends up outspeeding me, which is something I was not expecting whatsoever, because Probo Pass has base 40 speed, I believe, and Regirock has base 50 speed, which also should tell me that's why the Volt Switch at the beginning of the battle did so much damage, because I guess he was running max speed or something. But yeah, I managed to get rid of the Probo Pass, which means if I can Rapid Spin the rocks away, he's not going to be able to get them up again, as he's going to bring in the Samurai. And as I said, unless the Samurai is specially based, which I know it's not, I can take any hit from it. So I'm going to stay in. He's going to go for the Swords Dance, and I'm going to hit him with the Adamant Stab, Stone Edge, as he's going to go for a Waterfall. And to my surprise, I actually end up living this, and I was not expecting that whatsoever, because as I said, I'm Adamant max attack and I carry no defense EVs, so I'm able to hit my second Stone Edge and I'm able to get rid of the Samurai, which is just great because Samurai, a big threat in the NU tier, is out of here. So that means I can just leave my War Turtle later on in the battle to just Rapid Spin the rocks and spikes away, as he's going to bring in the Superior. Now he actually ends up going for the Calm Mind, and I really thought he was going to go for the Substitute. Maybe he doesn't carry it, because you'll see here that he doesn't have leftover, so maybe he's got Life Orb, which I can see why he wouldn't want to carry Substitute with Life Orb, seeing as all that extra damage would really hurt him in the long run of the battle. So he's just going to finish me off with the +1 super effective stabbed Giga Drain, and here he is going to reveal to have the Life Orb, which is fine by me, seeing as I will be able to get a free switch into my Emboar. Now because Superior tend to carry Hidden Power Rock as opposed to Hidden Power Ground, I know I can take a Giga Drain or a Hidden Power Rock at +1. just because I am heavily invested into my HP, so I'm able to live that, and I'm going to be able to finish him off with the Flare Blitz. And it just pains me to see Superior faint, because for those of you who do not know, Superior is my favorite Pokemon. So he's going to bring in the Garbodor. Now again, thinking my Pokemon is faster than his Pokemon, I'm going to stay in and go for an attack, but no, his Garbodor ends up being faster than me, which has me thinking maybe he's running speed investments, because normally Garbodor should not be faster than my Emboar. So I'm going to switch into my War Turtle. Now because I know he's going to switch out into Drifblim, predicting me to go for the Rapid Spin, I'm actually going to go for the Yawn. And at this point I'm thinking, well, if he decides to leave in Drifblim, he's going to fall asleep. But if he decides to switch out, I'm going to go for the Rapid Spin. So either way, I'm in a good situation because I've already lost 2 of my offensive hitters, so at this point I really don't care about the spikes. I just want those rocks away because I really want to keep my Rotom at full HP. So he actually does end up switching out into the Garbodor, and because after the Toxic I'm going to be into Torrent range, I'm actually going to stay in and just start getting off Scalds, thinking that he would just want to finish me off, but no. He's just going to end up going for the spikes, which really isn't a big deal because, as I said, my main priority was just to get rid of the rocks for my Rotom, because at this point he's got the Garbodor, the Drifblim, and the Swallow left, which obviously means that if I can get this Garbodor to below around 30% HP, I want to say, I can easily just bring in my Rotom and just Thunderbolt the rest of his team to this. So after the last Scald, I'm going to knock him way below 30%. I want to say maybe 10%, which means I'm going to switch into my Rotom, and at this point the battle is pretty much mine, at least I'm thinking, because Drifblim do tend to have massive HP, so in the back of my mind I know a Thunderbolt might not be able to finish off the Drifblim, but I know that a Acrobatics boosted that a Flight Gem boosted Acrobatics would not be able to finish me off. But it actually turns out that my Thunderbolt does finish him off, and because his last is Swallow, I'm going to be faster than him, and I'm going to be able to finish him off with the Thunderbolt. And even if he went for the Quick Attack, and even if he got a crit with the Quick Attack, he wouldn't have been able to take me out. So that was a 3-0 victory in my favor. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the battle, and if you did, you know what to do. Leave a like, leave a comment, guys. Make sure to subscribe, and make sure to expect another battle up tomorrow, guys. So with that, I do believe I am out of here. Haha. Later.